This is a book about cakes. I'm not doing a bread video. Maybe. Welcome to today's episode of the Apocalypse Cooking Channel. I just made a cool intro of me thumbing through a bunch of books, only to tell you we are making the ultimate wartime food, pierogies. This is a straightforward and pretty simple recipe. What you're gonna need is 290 grams of flour, or 2 cups, 6 grams of salt, or 1 teaspoon, 230 grams of water, or about 1 cup, depending on your environment you're in. This may be a little bit more or a little bit less, and 1 egg, or about 50 grams. Next, you need an arbitrary amount of potatoes, 5 to 6, depending on the size, seems to be pretty good. You might have some left over. That's just for your filling if you've never had a pierogi. An onion. We're going to do half to toss the pierogies in and half goes in the potato. And some butter. Let's do this bad boy. Before anything, you want to get your potatoes cooked so you're not waiting on those to cook before you stuff your pierogies. Potatoes go into cold water. Once that comes to a boil, if you cut them up, they're going to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you do them whole, it might take over about 30. You don't want to be in a full rolling boil, or you just break them up when you get watery potatoes. While your potatoes are cooking, you want to get your onions sweating down. Lots of butter. I don't have 2 of these. This is going behind me. For the dough, all of your flour, your salt. You want to make a well. In your well, put your egg into there, get your whiskey, add your water. Don't add all of it. It's a little dry, so add the remaining water. Not all the remaining water. And you don't really want to knead this, you just want it to barely start to come together until you have a nice dough mass. And just set that aside while your potatoes finish. Once your potatoes can be pierced with a fork, you want to strain them off. Make sure to get them really dry. Once you strained your potatoes, you want to get another pot of water on to boil. I moved the onions up here so you can see that too. This is kind of what you're going for on the onions. They're nice and cooked all the way through. You got a little color on there. Looking good. Now, for the potato filling. I like to do this in a KitchenAid. It just saves time. It's easy. But we have our cooked potatoes that have been nicely drained. Some more salt. Start with about 2 grams. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. Once your potatoes are kind of beaten up a little bit, you want to start adding in some butter. Using cold butter versus melted butter, it might take a while to melt into there, but in the long run, it just gives you a velvety, more smooth, pleasant potato texture. And it's up to you. You can add a little milk. Always taste your food. Once you have your potatoes where you like them, add about half the onion. Now to roll these out, you're going to need a ring cutter. If you don't have a ring cutter, you can just use a large glass. You're going to flour your work surface. Start to just kind of work it out with your hands. And start rolling it out. Add more flour as it's needed so they don't stick. In that first roll out, cut as many circles as you can. You're going to save that and roll that back out. Fairly nice circle, healthy portion of your potato. Fold it over, and then just give it good crimp. Crimp it. Crimp, 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 crimp. And that one's done. We're gonna have a bowl off to the side. Add your remaining onions and butter to that. This is important. This keeps everything from sticking. To nearly boiling water, you want to add your pierogies. Cook them a couple at a time so you don't drop that water temperature too much, and then you get soggy, fall apart mess. And once they float, they're done. Floating, they're done. Make sure you toss your pierogies in those onions and butter so they don't stick to each other. Don't forget to stir. Now this step is entirely optional, but I like that little crunch. So, to a pan, add some butter, melt it. Once your butter starts to brown, add 2 or 3 pierogies. And cook these until they're just a little bit crispy. Sound of perfection. And there we go, pierogies! This is kind of fun to do when you're quarantined with a couple of people. You make 50 of them, you're all sitting there rolling them out, stuffing them together. It's kind of fun. The recipe I gave you will make about 16 to 20 depending on how big you cut them. Scale accordingly. Are really hot. Now when you do these, feel free to grate some cheese on top of them. You can put cheese mixed in with the potatoes. You can do garlic in there. It's up to you. That's the whole point with this stuff, is kind of tweak it how you like it. Tweak it with what you have. If you have some root vegetables, maybe boil those with the potatoes. Rutabaga might be good. Turnip, something like that. Give it a try. Let us know. And we appreciate suggestions too. Thanks for watching the Apocalypse Cooking Channel. Enjoy your apocalypse.